Some insects are born to kill, while others are raised to serve. In this video, you'll go through 8 lives that get crazier as the video progresses. Starting with the first one, the wasp. You hatch breaking through the egg, your mandibles working instinctively as you push forward. Others around you are doing the same, forcing their way out. You are inside a cell, part of a repeating pattern, surrounded by more just like it. Some are still sealed, holding others who have yet to emerge. While others sit empty, their occupants are already out. The ones that hatched before you have started eating, their bodies growing stronger with every bite. You have no time to fall behind. A worker arrives, stopping just long enough to drop food into your open mouth before moving on. You don't think, you swallow. The food is soft, already chewed down into paste made easy to consume. A moment later, another worker does the same, and you take in as much as you can before she moves on. If you don't, someone else will. You eat. That is your only task. The food keeps coming, delivered by workers who never stop. You keep swallowing, your body using everything to grow. Days pass and you feel your skin tighten. Then it gets worse. The pressure builds until something gives and your body splits open. Congratulations, you've just molted. You climb out of your old skin, slightly bigger, slightly stronger, and immediately go back to eating like nothing happened. Some of the others don't make it. Maybe they were too slow. Maybe they weren't taking this whole constant eating thing seriously. Either way, their cells are cleaned out before you even notice they're missing. Then, one day, everything shifts. The workers stop bringing food and you stop feeling hungry. Instead, a new instinct kicks in, one that tells you to start spinning. Silk threads wrap around your body, sealing you inside, and for the first time, you do nothing. Inside, your body starts making upgrades. Legs stretch out, muscles form, wings press against your back, and a whole new layer of armor hardens around you. You don't know what's coming next, but whatever it is, you're being prepped for it whether you like it or not. Then the casing splits. You push forward, legs locking into place, wings unfolding, body fully formed and ready. This time, you're not just another helpless mouth waiting to be fed. You have a stinger now. You're a worker wasp, and it's time to get to work. No one tells you what to do. You already know. Your first task is to feed the larva. The workers before you did the same. Now it's your turn. You fly out, scanning below. When you notice something moving, it's a caterpillar, thick and slow, crawling along a leaf. You quickly land behind it, grip it tight, and sting, allowing your venom to flood its body. The caterpillar twitches and then stops. You tear into its soft skin, breaking it down and taking a piece back. At the nest, you drop the food into an open cell. A larva stretches forward, pulling it in. You don't stop to watch, you just move on. After that, more workers arrive with more food, allowing the larva to keep growing. Then you move to the nest walls. The structure must expand, so you scrape your mandibles against a wooden fence, chewing the fibers into pulp. It mixes with your saliva, forming a soft paste. Back at the nest, you spread it over the edges, pressing it into place. After a while, it hardens, adding to the structure. Then you fly out again, to bring back more food and more wood. The larvae need to grow, and the nest must hold. At some point, you hear the air hum with movement. You join the other wasps, following the scent of sugar. Below you is a field of flowers that stretches in every direction. You fly lower and land on one of the flowers. You press your mouthparts into the flower and start drinking. Then a shadow moves beside you. A bee. It lands carefully, its legs dipping into the pollen. It hesitates for a moment to assess the current situation, but you don't wait. You turn toward it with your mandibles slightly open to give it a warning. The bee flinches, but doesn't leave. It needs the nectar too. You step closer and shove it with your front legs. Not hard, just enough that it stumbles to the side. The bee buzzes its wings, trying to stand its ground. It's twice as heavy as you, built for collecting the pollen, but you're built for something else. You have speed, you have venom, you have nothing to lose. You slam into it again, harder this time. The bee panics and it grips the petal, trying to hold its place. But you don't let it. You fly forward with your mandibles snapping at its legs. It lunges backward, finally breaking away from the flower. But you don't give up and chase it into the air. It tries to fly away, but you follow. It flies down, diving low toward another flower, trying to reclaim what it lost. And in that moment, you slam into it mid-air. The bee spirals, trying to fight back, but it won't. It can't afford to sting, because in its case, one sting means death. You know this and use it to your advantage. The bee finally flies away, dropping lower and retreating. You hover for a second, watching, satisfied with yourself. Then you turn back and land on the flower, pressing into the petals. You drink because the nectar is yours now. Sometime later, a worker flies past you. Her scent is strong, and you immediately follow the familiar sweetness filling the air. Up ahead, wasps cling to the rim of a human drink. They bury their heads inside, drinking as fast as they can. The sugar is thick, and more workers arrive, drawn in by the scent. A human approaches, stopping when they notice the swarm. They hesitate for a moment before reaching for the cup. You lift off with the others, warning the human, but the human doesn't stop. Their hand moves closer, trying to take their drink. You fly forward with your mandibles open, colliding with the human's skin, driving your stinger into it. Other wasps strike at the same time. The human flinches, screaming in pain and fear. They try to shake you off, but it's too late now. You sting over and over again. The human stumbles back, frantically waving their hand, trying to escape the relentless attack. Then finally, they drop the drink. The cup crashes to the ground and the syrup spills across the pavement. All of the wasps landing around the puddle to drink. The human grips their stung skin, with their eyes wide with fear as they retreat. But you don't care. You lower yourself to the sticky surface, pressing your mouthparts into the sweet remains. The sugar was never theirs to take. It was always yours. Oh, and by the way, you have something that most insects don't. The ability to recognize faces. You could spot the same human over and over again. You could remember which worker shoved past you last time at the nest entrance. But does it matter? No, no one cares. The queen won't reward you for remembering her. The workers won't appreciate it when you identify the ones who always steal the best food. And when a human swats at you, you'll remember their face. But let's be real, you're not going to live long enough to do anything about it. Then, you're back at the nest when a shadow passes overhead. It's a hornet. The alarm spreads instantly. Workers flood from the entrance, swarming the hornet in order to defend the nest. You follow. The intruder is massive. Its exoskeleton thick, mandibles sharp. It's literally built for killing. It hovers above for a moment, scanning for weakness. It won't find one. The swarm strikes first. You land on its back, legs gripping tight as your mandibles tear at the gaps in its armor. Others pile on, stabbing their stingers into every exposed joint. The hornet tries to defend itself, but there are too many of you. Its movements slow down as venom floods its body. It stumbles and falls flat on the ground. The other workers descend, biting through its outer shell, trying to peel away soft pieces from its body. The remains are carried back toward the nest because you don't waste anything. Inside, the queen lays another egg. She does not stop and she never leaves. The workers feed her, guard her, and expand the nest. You lift off and head back out, because the hive must be fed. If you are born male, however, your life is short and uneventful. You emerge from your cell near the end of the colony's existence. The nest isn't thriving anymore and the workers are dying off. Food is harder to find, and the once growing hive is now just trying to hold itself together. But none of this matters to you. You are slimmer than the workers, with longer antennas and oversized eyes. Unlike them, you will never build, never fight, and never hunt. You won't chew wood, won't feed larvae, and won't defend the colony from threats. The only thing you will do is wait. Workers take notice of you, but not in the way they do with newly hatched workers. They don't guide you toward food or assign you a task. Instead, they feed you just enough to keep you alive. They don't do this out of kindness. Your existence is tolerated because your one job hasn't started yet. For a short time, you stay inside the nest. You don't contribute, you don't leave, and you don't really think. You simply exist, feeding when the workers offer food and waiting for the instinct that tells you to leave. Then one day, it happens. The workers stop feeding you. Their focus is shifting. The colony is running out of time and you are no longer their problem. You crawl toward the entrance, spread your wings for the first time, and fly into the world. You don't know where you're going, and you don't need to. Your only goal is to find a queen before you die. Others like you are already drifting through the air, scanning for the same thing. Some won't last long because birds are watching, spiders are waiting, and the world is not friendly to creatures that have no survival instincts. Then somewhere ahead, a queen appears. She is fresh from her colony, her body larger than yours. She isn't looking for you specifically, she's kind of a bop looking for as many males as she can find. You don't hesitate, you fly towards her following her scent, a signal that your life was meant for. You aren't alone. Other males arrive drawn in by the same instinct. She isn't interested in just one of you. She mates with as many as possible, ensuring that her eggs are fertilized before she moves on. You manage to mate, and that's it. There's no guarantee that your genes will make it to the next generation. You're just one of many. The queen pulls away, already looking for the next male. You keep flying, but you aren't built to last. Some males keep searching for another queen. Others simply land somewhere and wait for the inevitable. You last a day, or maybe two. Eventually, your energy runs out. You hit the ground, your legs curl inward, and that's the end. But what about the original queen, though? The one that laid your egg? Let's go back in time to the end of summer. The time when the air cools and the days shorten. She is still there, still laying eggs, still doing the only thing she has ever done. The workers around her are fewer now. Some are missing. Some haven't come back. Her pheromones are weaker, but she doesn't understand what that means. The workers who once fed her without hesitation are slower now. Some ignore her entirely. Some have started laying their own eggs. The nest isn't the same, but she keeps laying. Then, one day, the food stops coming. The workers that remain aren't focused on her anymore. They are dying off, leaving one by one, flying off and never returning. There is no one left to bring food. No one to repair the nest. No one to fight for her. She doesn't leave. She never learned how. She was never supposed to. And so she stays, surrounded by empty cells, until the cold reaches her. The same cold that took the workers, the same cold that will bury the nest in frost and rain until it collapses into nothing. By the time winter arrives, she is gone. But her daughters, the new queens, have already disappeared underground. They will wake up in spring, find a place, and start chewing wood. And just like that, the cycle begins again. That was the wasp. Next is the slaver ant, a thief that steals babies and turns them into workers. You hatch from an egg, underground in a nest of over 500. But only a few are your kind, and the rest are slaves. They don't look like you, they don't share your scent, but they feed you and raise you like you're one of them. Your larval body is soft and weak. You don't move and you don't eat on your own. Then a worker comes. She holds chewed up food in her mandibles, presses her face to yours, and feeds you mouth to mouth. She does it again and again, over a few weeks, and so do the others. They circle constantly, grooming your body, adjusting the walls of your cell, defending the chamber entrance from anything that isn't part of the colony. You grow quickly, your skin stretches, then it splits and you break free. You crawl out of the shell and stand for the first time. You're a fully grown slaver ant. Dozens of formica workers move around you. One of them walks past, turns slightly, and feeds you again. Even now you wouldn't survive without them, because your species doesn't know any basic things that ants should be able to do, like finding food or raising your young. But you do know how to kill, and soon that's exactly what you're going to do. A few days later, one of the workers returns to the nest. She rushes through the tunnels, brushing past others as she reaches the central chamber. The moment she arrives, everything changes. You notice a certain smell on her, so you follow. Every slaver does. It's not a decision. It's what you were born for. She leads you out of the nest, moving quickly across the forest floor as the others fall into line behind her. Up ahead is a formica nest. You've never been here before, but it's not unfamiliar. The lead worker slows and releases a trail of pheromones, painting a chemical signal that spreads through the group. The others surge forward, forming a narrow column. You reach the entrance of the formica nest and you begin digging. The defenders are inside. You know they'll fight, but not yet. First, you widen the entrance, clearing the debris and making space for the rest of the group to pour in. The moment the path is open, the column breaks formation and floods into the nest, and you follow. Your species has raided for so long that your body already knows what to do. You push forward through the narrow corridors, stepping over panicked workers as they scatter away from you. Some try to resist. One launches forward and sprays acid across your side, but it doesn't slow you down. Your shell is thick enough to ignore it. You keep moving. Ahead, a nursery chamber opens into view. The place is filled with larvae and pupae packed into clusters. You lunge forward and grab a pupa between your mandibles. You turn and retreat through the same tunnel you entered from. Others are already ahead of you, carrying stolen brood in all directions. One slaver collapses as she's swarmed by defenders and dragged into the shadows. You don't stop. You make it out and race back toward your colony. By the time you arrive, the entrance is already crawling with returning workers. You drop the pupa into the nest and turn around. Because this isn't over yet, you still have more to take. A few weeks pass, and the stolen pupae begin to hatch. They look like formica. They move like formica. But they don't act like formica, because the first thing they smell is your colony, and so they think that they are a part of your species. As soon as they are able to walk, they clean the chambers. They feed you directly from their mouths. They patrol the tunnels and guard the queen they were stolen to serve. They don't know they were taken, but they follow you anyway. One morning, a small group forms near the tunnel entrance. A slaver worker releases a trail and starts to move. You follow her along with a group of slaves. The trail leads through the forest and straight back to the place you stole them from, the same formica nest. It's weaker and smaller now, but not empty. The survivors have been trying to rebuild, but you won't allow them to. You reach the entrance and tear it open. Formica workers rush to block you, but this time, they don't just face you, they face their own sisters. The first slave breaks rank. She lunges forward and sinks her mandibles into a defender's throat. Another follows. In seconds, the tunnel becomes a swarm. Bodies collapse around you, limbs folding, legs twisting. The nest is too small to escape and too tight to retreat. You push deeper through the carnage. Then you find her. At the back of the chamber, the formica queen is trying to flee. She stumbles over a scattered brood, dragging herself toward a narrow side tunnel. But she never makes it. Two slaves reach her first. They climb onto her back, gripping her sides as their mandibles dig into her soft joints. She thrashes as they bite her body open, but the movement stops eventually. You stand beside the body for a moment, then you turn around. The nest is quiet now. There's no one left to fight, so you return home while the slaves follow. A few weeks later, the nursery begins to empty. Larvae go missing. Some are found crushed and half buried beneath the wall plaster. Others vanish before anyone sees them again. You patrol the inner chambers, walking past slaves tending to food stores and repairing damaged surfaces. Then, near the edge of a narrow tunnel, you spot a worker standing alone. Her mandibles are pressed to the wall. But she's not fixing it. She's tearing it apart. She chips once more and loosens a small section of hardened pulp. You strike from behind. Your jaws pierce her abdomen and crush her against the ground. Her legs curl inward, and she doesn't move again. You keep walking. Inside the brood chamber, you spot another. She's hunched above a slaver larva, already biting through its side. The larva twitches weakly. The slave lifts her head and moves to the next one. You rush forward and grab her. She thrashes, legs kicking hard across your chest. You slam her into the chamber floor and split her apart. A sharp click echoes from the tunnel behind you. More movement follows. 3 slaves enter from the side chamber and sprint toward you with jaws open. One leaps. You twist, catch her midair, and throw her against the wall. Another slaver arrives. Then 2 more. They crash into the group, scattering the rebels across the floor. You catch one under her body and drag her backwards. A second one strikes your flank, but is intercepted by another slaver worker. The brood chamber floods with bodies. Acid sprays across your face as one of them lands a hit, but the sting fades quickly. You grab the nearest attacker and pin her to the ground. Then you crush her throat and move to the next. Eventually, the movement slows. Half of the slaves are gone. Their bodies lie broken beneath the nursery wall. You step over what's left of them and return to the tunnel. The rebellion ends where it started. At 1 month old, your colony is smaller. The larvae are hungry, the walls are cracked, and there aren't enough slaves to fix it. So you gather what workers remain and prepare another raid. The scout leads you out early, releasing a weak trail that fades faster than usual. You follow anyway. The forest is quiet, but the scent she's left behind cuts straight through the damp air and leads you toward a nest built deeper into the ground. You don't know the colony, but it smells like formica. You reach the entrance and start to dig. The opening resists, packed tight with soil and debris. You clear it quickly. Then the slavers rush forward and pour inside. But this time, the defenders don't run. They're already waiting in formation. This isn't the formica you're used to. This is Formica rufa, the red wood ant. Nearly twice your size and bred for combat. The first impact hits before you even reach the nursery. One of them slams into a worker beside you and crushes her mid-stride. You strike back, but she doesn't flinch. Her mandibles shear through your front leg and keep going. The tunnel narrows, but they keep coming. Another wave presses through. Your column begins to collapse. The slavers break formation, and the retreat begins. But there's no space to turn. Bodies block the exit. You see another worker pulled under by 3 defenders, her shell cracking open as they tear her apart. You force your way through the chaos, pushing past collapsed brood and fallen allies. By the time you reach daylight, most of your column is gone. 3/4 of the raiding force never make it back. As time passes, your colony is getting desperate, so the queen leaves the chamber. She's never done that before. She walks through the tunnels, her antenna twitching. You and a small group of slavers fall in around her, forming a loose escort as she pushes toward the exit. The trail leads to another formica nest, not far. You've raided it before. This time, the queen enters with you. As the fighting starts, she breaks from the group and slips down a side tunnel. The defenders are busy. They don't see her pass. You keep fighting while she disappears into the dark. At the back of the nest, she finds what she came for. The formica queen is still alive, surrounded by brood, flanked by guards. But it doesn't matter. The slaver queen lunges forward and clamps down on her throat. The formica workers scatter. She doesn't stop until the body is still. Then she licks the corpse and smears the queen's scent across her own body. By the time the workers return, she smells right, so they don't question it. They accept her and the nest is hers now. But not every queen uses an escort. Some raid alone. They crawl into a nest and release chemicals so strong they trigger panic. The defenders drop their brood and flee through the tunnels. And while the chaos unfolds, the queen finds the royal chamber and kills the formica queen herself. If there's more than one, she must find them all, because if even one queen survives, the nest rejects her. But if they're all dead, then the scent is hers, and so is the colony. Skip forward a few weeks, and the air in the nest changes. The workers stop working. The tunnels feel different. Something is about to happen. Then they hatch. The males. You see them crawling out of their cells one by one. Their bodies are thinner than yours. Their antennas are longer. Their legs shake slightly as they walk. The workers bring them food once, just enough to keep them moving. Then the males walk toward the surface and leave. They don't come back. Above ground, hundreds of them scatter into the air, searching for queens. Some find them, but most of them don't. Birds catch them mid-flight. Spiders take them from the grass. The rest fall somewhere and never get up again. You watch one of them rise through the entrance. His wings flick once, and then he's gone. He has no scent worth remembering, no purpose but mating. If he finds a queen, he'll grip her from behind, hold steady for a few seconds, and then drop. His job is over. He won't be fed or protected. He dies the same day he's born, and no one in the colony cares. A few days pass. The males are gone. The colony is quiet again. Then, the wall breaks. It happens fast, a crack along the edge of the southern chamber. Then, a second breach near the entrance. You rush forward with the others, but what's coming through isn't formica. It's another slaver species. It's Formica sanguinea, and this time, they're not here to defend a nest. They're here to take one. Your sisters collapse around you. You grip one of the attackers and drag her into the dirt, slicing open her shell before she can react. But another slams into your side, and another tears your back leg loose. You back away, limping, your vision shaking as the colony folds around you. The queen is already gone. She escaped when the fighting began. You retreat through the old tunnels, dragging yourself toward the far exit. But then, you stop. The path is blocked. A group of your slaves stand in the passage. They don't let you pass. One of them steps forward and bares her mandibles. You pause, then try to push through. But they strike first. One latches onto your side. another goes for your head. You fight back, twisting, tearing one of them free, but the rest pull you down. Your shell splits, your legs fold, and the last thing you see is the colony collapsing behind you, not from the outside, but from within. That was the slaver ant. Now meet the wasp mantidfly, born as a parasite and trained to ambush. You break out of the egg as a larva. A few days ago, your mother picked up your dad's white glue off a leaf and used it to fertilize hundreds of eggs scattered through the forest. And now you crawl over the others that hatched beside you and climb up the stem to look for something moving. Your current mission is to hijack a spider, kill anything in your way, and evolve into something else entirely. After a couple minutes of waiting, a spider walks past. You jump and land on its back, but it's the wrong kind. It's too small for you. It wipes you off with one leg and keeps walking. You hit the ground, roll once, and crawl under a leaf. A few minutes later, another spider passes. This one is much heavier and slower. Her abdomen is round and full of baby spiders. A perfect opportunity. You jump again and land behind her rear leg, right between the soft plates. Your claws lock in, and luckily she doesn't notice. You stay hidden while she walks, grooms, and spins short threads across the branches. A couple days later, she climbs into a narrow gap between two rocks. It's a dry, hidden space, just wide enough for her body. She cleans the surface, then starts building. You hold your place while she weaves the sack, layer by layer, until it's done. Once she leaves, you crawl down her body and slip through the edge of the silk. Inside, the eggs are packed tight. You bite one, and thick fluid spills into your jaws. So you bite another, and keep feeding until your gut starts to swell. But then, something hits your side. One of your larva siblings followed you inside. It slams into you again with its jaws open. You grab it with your front claws and twist, trying to throw it off, but it doesn't let go. You drag it across the silk and hook one leg under its body. Then you pull and rip its side open, making it die in an instant. You turn back to the eggs and feed until there's nothing left. Because in a few days, something important will happen to your body. Skip forward a bit, and you're 5 weeks old now. After draining every egg inside the sack, you sealed yourself inside with your own silk and waited a couple of weeks. Now that your body has changed, you tear through the cocoon and crawl out. Your legs are longer, your eyes are sharper, and two soft wings hang folded against your back. You don't look like a larva anymore. You look like a wasp with an extra chromosome. Below you, ants swarm the bark in long lines. They found the remains of the egg sac, and now they are headed straight at you. You run across the branch, but one catches your back leg and pulls. You slam sideways, scraping your body on the bark. You twist and swing your front legs forward. You've never used them before, but the curved spines lock into place and crush the ant's head. You rip it loose and throw the pieces aside. The others hesitate, so you use that moment and jump. You fall through leaves and hit the ground hard. One wing folds under you, but nothing tears. You drag yourself between two rocks and wait until the shadows above stop moving. After a while, you crawl back into the open and climb a low stem. Your wings are still soft, but you open them anyway. You spread your wings and push once, lifting just above the ground. You land, reset, and push harder. This time you clear the stems and glide past the moss, landing clean on a flat rock. You'll feed on nectar for a while, but that won't be enough for long. Something in your body still wants more. You're 2 months old now. You've been flying low between branches for hours. You've seen plenty of insects, but you just can't catch them. Your first try was a beetle resting still on a leaf. You creeped up along the edge, raised your front legs, and lunged. But your claws hit too wide and knocked it sideways. The beetle tumbled off the leaf and disappeared into the grass before you could react. Later, you spotted a moth warming its wings in a patch of sunlight. You hovered just above it, lined up your strike, and went for the kill. But the moth saw the shadow, dropped flat, and shot into the air before your claws even touched it. You chased for a few seconds, but your body isn't built for speed. You gave up before your wings burned out. So you're starving now. Nectar won't keep you alive much longer, and your claws are built for killing, but right now, they're not doing anything. You give it one more try. While circling above the grass, you spot a thin web stretched between two branches. There's a fly caught inside and no spider around it. You slow your wings, drop lower, and come up with something new. Instead of chasing, you land just beneath the web and freeze. Then you raise your claws and pull the fly out in one clean motion. The strands stretch, but they don't snap. You turn to leave and stop, because the spider is already climbing back. She must have felt it. You twist between leaves and drop low into the grass until you're sure she's not following. When you land, your whole body shakes, but the fly is still in your mouth. You bite off the wings and drink everything inside until there's nothing left. It's the first real food you've had in days, and it didn't come from chasing, it came from stealing. You're not the only mantidfly out here either. Others are hunting the same ground, and some are bigger than you. You'll need to get smarter, or you won't survive the next week. You're 2.5 months old now. For the last 3 nights, you've been returning to the same patch of forest. There's a broken web strung between 2 roots, and the spider who built it doesn't seem to care what's missing. Every time you come back, something new is trapped inside, and each time, you take it. But today when you arrive, someone's already there. It's another mantidfly. She's older than you and twice your size. One of her legs is torn off at the joint. The wound is sealed, but she moves with a limp. And when she sees you, she steps toward the web and rips the fly before you can even get to it. You hover low with your claws raised, watching her shift her weight like she's about to leave. But just as she turns, you strike. Your claws hit her square in the thorax and slam her backward into the dirt. She kicks up hard and catches you under the body, knocking the air from your trachea as both of you crash through the leaves. You roll once and hit the ground, scraping bark and tearing your membrane. She recovers first and lands a clean hit across your abdomen. Her claw digs deep and twists. You curl your body and strike blindly, snapping in front of you until something soft gives way, her left eye. She shakes, trying to break loose, but your grip holds, and with one hard twist of your head, you tear the eye free. She kicks away and stumbles, leaking fluid from the side of her face. You lunge again, but she lifts off just in time and disappears into the air without a sound. You stay there for a moment, then push yourself upright and walk toward the web. Your wings won't fold properly, and your shell is punctured where she struck. The wound won't kill you, but it won't heal fast either. Out here, no one guards you. If you want to keep something, you fight for it. Skip forward again, and you're 3 months old now. The cuts on your side have scabbed over and your wings work again. You've stopped returning to the same webs, and now you drift between clearings alone. One afternoon, you spot movement near the edge of the grass. It's another mantid fly. A male. He lands a few branches away, but you stay still. He steps forward slowly. You can tell that something in his body language feels different. He's not here to kill. You turn toward him with your legs raised halfway, but he doesn't come closer. He stays still, lowers his abdomen, and drops something white onto the leaf. This is how your kind mates. You don't fully understand it, but your body does. As you're about to lower yourself over the spermatophore, the wind shifts. A shadow flashes overhead, and something slams into the branch beside you. It's a bird that missed you just by inches and cracked the branch from the impact. You throw yourself off just as claws rake the air behind you. The male lifts off too late. One of his wings folds wrong, and he spirals into the grass. You don't wait to see what happens next. You dive into the bush and wait there until the sound stops. The bird is gone, and so is the male. You're still shaking, and your legs won't stop twitching, but you're alive. And even though it lasted only seconds, something about that moment clicked. It wasn't just instinct. It was something you want again. And next time, you'll be ready. You're 3.5 months old now. You've been patrolling the same stretch of forest for days, circling back between leaves and watching for movement. On a random day, you land on a wide, flat leaf near the edge of the water. That's when you see it, a soft, white packet stuck gently to the surface. It's a spermatophore that was recently dropped, but with no male in sight. You step forward slowly, position your body over it, and lower your abdomen until the contact point is right. The fluid transfers quickly. You hold still until it's done, then back away. You don't feel different, but something inside you changes. You climb the nearest tree and stop halfway up the branch. Then you start laying. Each egg presses into place with perfect spacing, one after the next with its own perfect gap. You fly up and turn to check your line. It's super precise. As you're about to leave, you hear a buzzing sound behind your back. You land and stay still as a wasp circles overhead. She loops once, then again, slowing each time. Her wings tilt slightly as she angles in, scanning you from the side. You hold still with your legs braced and wings tucked low. Your black and yellow pattern matches hers almost perfectly. She lingers a second longer, then pulls upward and glides out of the clearing. You've made it this far by copying every signal and holding your nerve when it mattered. But now it's more than mimicry. You feel like the thing even real wasps leave alone. You're 4 months old now. You fly lower than before with your claws angled forward and your eyes locked on the ground. You've stopped avoiding things. Now you're looking for them. Ahead, something twitches in a web stretched between two rocks. A lacewing. It's still alive, but not moving much. It's probably paralyzed. You don't see a spider nearby, so you move in. You land just beneath the web and reach up, easing your claws around the insect without shaking the strands. Then something hits the rock beside you. A spider jumps from the far edge and lands straight in your path. It spreads its legs, then lunges. You catch its face before it makes contact. Your claws wrap tight around the front of its body and one slips in under the eye. It jerks backward and flings you across the stone. You hit hard but recover fast, and before it can run, you leap again. This time you land on top of it. You clamp across the thorax and force it down. It shakes once, then breaks free and runs. You wait until it's gone, then turn back to the web. The lacewing is still there. You pull it free, break the silk, and drag the body into the grass. You bite off the wings and drink everything inside until it's gone. This is your second real kill, but it's the first one you took by force. You didn't hide. You fought and won, and now you know what happens when something picks a fight with you. It loses. Skip forward a bit, and you're 4.5 months old now. The branch you laid your eggs on is still in place, and the bark is dotted with larval shapes that look just like you did months ago. You haven't eaten today, but you don't feel the urgency anymore. You land on a broad leaf in full sun and start cleaning your front legs. The spines are dulled from use, but still sharp enough to attack if needed. You fought spiders, killed your own, fed on real kills, and defended yourself from something much stronger than you. You've done everything your body was built to do. There's no threat in sight, just warm light and still air. Then, out of the corner of your vision, something rises through the grass. It's orange and much bigger than you. It's a hornet. You get into the position. You've done this before. You've locked your wings in place and mimicked every angle just right. It worked on wasps and even spiders, but this time, the attacker doesn't slow down. The shape slams into into your chest before you can react. A stinger slips between your plates and drives deep, then pulls away just as fast. Your muscles don't respond. Your wings stay folded and you remain completely still as the venom moves through your body. There's nothing you can do anymore. You die in the exact pose that once kept you alive. Above you on the branch you used to guard, one of your eggs splits open, and something begins to crawl out. That was the wasp mantid fly. Next is the giant hornet, bigger, faster, and always hunting something smaller. You hatch inside a sealed cell, deep within a massive nest in Japan. There is no time to stop. Food is dropped in front of you, already broken down, and you eat as fast as you can. Every bite fuels your growth, and the cycle repeats without hesitation. Your body swells, your skin tightens, then it splits. You push forward, leaving behind the old layer that no longer fits. You eat more, grow more, and it happens again. Each time you are larger, stronger, closer to what you are meant to be. 1 week later, the final change begins. You are sealed inside a casing, locked away as your body completes itself. Your limbs stretch, your armor hardens, your wings press against your back, ready to be used. Then, you break free. You are no longer a larva. You tear through the nest, crawling forward without hesitation. The tunnels are tight, twisting in every direction, but you push through. You do not stop. You keep moving until you reach an opening. Light floods in, and you don't hesitate. You spread your wings, push off the nest, and take flight. At around 20 days old, the colony is expanding fast. Workers chew through wood and turn it into pulp to reinforce the nest, making it larger, stronger, and more secure. But you don't care about that. You aren't interested in building. You are interested in something else. The instinct to attack is already there. Every insect that comes too close is a target, whether it is a threat or not. A beetle crawls near the entrance. Its shell tough, but not tough enough. You land on its back, grabbing hold before it can react, mandibles cutting through its body in seconds. Another insect tries to escape, flying away from the nest, but you chase it down, catching it mid-air and ripping off its legs before dropping it to the ground. Inside the nest, the rules are just as clear. Any hornet that hesitates is shoved aside. Any worker that moves too slow is bitten. You don't wait for others to get out of your way, and you don't give up what you have taken. Weakness is not tolerated, and hesitation is not an option. The workers continue expanding the nest, but you are not one of them. You don't build, you don't repair, and you don't care about the structure of the colony itself. You are part of something bigger, not just another worker, but one of the forces that will control everything around this nest. The colony is growing, its numbers are increasing, and its presence is already being felt. Every insect that gets too close is either killed or driven away. Every wasp or bee that enters this territory is erased before it can fight back. The nest is not just expanding, it is taking over. At around 25 days old, hunting is no longer just about feeding the colony. The larvae inside the nest rely on a constant supply of protein, but that is not why you kill. You kill because it is instinct, something that does not need a reason. A praying mantis moves along a branch ahead of you, unaware that it has already lost. It is larger than the insects you have attacked before, strong enough to fight back, but that does not matter. You don't hesitate. You strike, slamming into its back and locking your legs around its body before it has time to react. It twists, trying to turn and raise its spiked forelegs, but you already know what is coming. Before it can strike, you bite down, sinking your mandibles into the back of its head and crushing through its exoskeleton with ease. It flails for a second, legs still kicking in an attempt to shake you off, but its movements are slowing. You bite again, harder this time, and the body goes limp. You don't eat it. You don't take it back to the nest. The larva would have fed on it, but that is not why you attacked. You were not driven by hunger, not by necessity, not by anything that could be explained with logic. This was simply what you were made for. Hornets don't collect nectar, they don't gather pollen, they don't exist to balance an ecosystem. They exist to hunt, to kill, and to dominate everything around them. The mantis was a predator, but it never stood a chance against you. Nothing does. Every attack sharpens your skills. Every kill proves that you are not just another insect in the colony. You are something faster, stronger, and more dominant than everything around you. You leave the body behind and take off because there will always be another target. At around 30 days old, hunting single insects is no longer enough. The colony is growing, and so is its dominance. This time, the target is not just something to kill. It is something that must be erased. A wasp nest hangs from a thin branch. Its surface is crawling with workers tending to their fragile home. They are smaller, and their defenses are weak, but they don't know that yet. They believe they are safe. They believe they can hold this territory. They are wrong. You do not go alone. A raiding force leaves the nest alongside you, moving with a singular purpose. There is no careful approach, no slow build-up before the strike. You and the others hit first, diving straight into the swarm before they even know what is happening. You tear into the first wasp mid-air, your mandibles closing around its body and snapping through its exoskeleton in a single bite. Another defender rushes toward you, its stinger raised in a desperate attempt to fight back, but it is useless. You grab hold, crush its body, and drop it before moving to the next. The nest itself is split open within moments, its walls peeled apart to expose the helpless larva inside. They squirm, vulnerable and unprotected, but none of them are taken. This was never about feeding the colony. Hornets do not just hunt. They do not just take what they need. They destroy everything that does not belong to them. The wasps that survive flee in every direction. Their numbers are scattered and their colony erased. You don't stay to watch. You don't need to. The nest is gone and the message is clear. This place belongs to the hornets now. At around 40 days old, the colony is at its strongest. The numbers are rising and its hunger is growing. The larvae demand more food, and small hunts are no longer enough. A larger source of protein is needed, a beehive. The hive is massive, swarming with thousands of workers, all moving with purpose, completely unaware that their time is running out. They have built this colony from nothing, protected it, filled it with honey, raised their young inside its walls, but none of it will matter. You take off with a raiding force of 30 hornets flying straight toward the hive without hesitation. There is no need to be careful. There is no need to hide. The bees are prey, and they just don't know it yet. The first defenders rush out in a desperate attempt to fight back, swarming toward you, their stingers raised, their movements quick, their defense instinctive. But it makes no difference. They latch onto you, stabbing again and again, but their stingers can't pierce your thick armor. You barely notice them. You bite through the first bee with a single snap of your mandibles, its body falling to the ground in pieces. Another tries to dodge, but you strike faster, grabbing hold and crushing it midair before moving to the next. The swarm thickens as more defenders pour out of the hive, filling the air with a chaotic buzz, but it is already over. A single hornet can kill 40 bees in a minute. The workers keep coming, wave after wave, but it is hopeless. The other hornets tear through them just as fast, their movements relentless, their jaws snapping through soft bodies without effort. The entrance to the hive is filling with corpses. The air is thick with the scent of crushed bodies, venom, and spilled honey. Within hours, the hive is silent. The last defenders are gone, their sacrifice meaningless. The walls have been ripped apart, the honeycombs have been shattered, and the whole entire structure has been broken. The larvae inside are still, waiting for food that will never come, but they are not left behind. Workers rush in and carry them away, dragging them back to the hornet nest, where they will serve a new purpose, as food for the next generation. The honey is untouched because you have no use for it. The hive is nothing now, just an empty shell. This was not a battle, not even a hunt. It was an extermination. At around 2 months old, nothing in your territory is safe. Insects flee at the sight of you. Smaller colonies have been destroyed, and even the once busy beehives now sit empty. But not everything is a target. Some creatures are too large, too different, too irrelevant to bother with. Humans are one of them. You are not hunting, not searching for food. You are simply flying, moving through the air with no real purpose when something below catches your attention. A human, walking along a path, unaware that something is watching. They are large, far too big to be prey. But that does not matter. You descend. They don't see you at first, not until you pass just above their head, wings beating loud enough to make them freeze. Their body stiffens, their movement stops, their mind registering exactly what just came near them. They know what you are, and they know exactly what you are capable of. You hover for a moment, drifting just close enough to let them see you properly. You could strike, you could hurt them just a little, but you don't. You don't need to. Panic sets in, and they move. A step back, then another, then a sudden burst of speed as they break into a run heading as far away as they can. You don't follow, you simply watch, satisfied with the reaction. At 3 months old, the colony is at its peak, and so are you. The smaller hunts are nothing now. The fight's too easy, the kill's too predictable. You are no longer just an insect hunter. You are something more, something that no longer limits itself to creatures with exoskeletons. Above the nest, a small bird perches on a low branch, pecking at the bark, searching for insects hidden beneath the surface. It flutters between branches, unaware that it has already crossed a line. The hornets below take notice. You take notice too. The bird is close, too close. It is fast, alert, and ready to take flight at any moment, but that will not save it. The colony does not tolerate trespassers. You move first, launching into the air, your wings carrying you up toward the intruder, but you are not alone. Others follow, the air filling with the sound of movement, of wings closing in from every direction. The bird hesitates. It hears you. It sees you, but it does not understand what is happening. By the time it does, it is too late. You strike first, slamming into its back, your legs gripping tight, your weight forcing it downward. It flaps violently, twisting, trying to escape, but there is no way out. Another hornet grabs hold of its wing, and another lands near its head. The bird thrashes, its beak snapping wildly in every direction, but every movement is answered with another attack. Stingers drive deep, venom flooding its body, shutting everything down within seconds. The bird jerks, wings still beating, its legs kicking weakly, but the fight is already over. One last twitch, one last breath, and then nothing. You release your grip, hovering above as the body collapses onto the forest floor. The others do the same, backing away, leaving behind only the proof of what happens to anything that gets too close. This was not an insect. This was not a simple kill. This was a warm-blooded creature, something larger, something that once thought it was untouchable. But nothing is untouchable anymore. At 4 months old, the colony is breaking apart. The numbers are shrinking, the workers are slowing, the nest is emptying. The queen, once the unstoppable force that held everything together, is motionless now, her body hollowed out from the inside, consumed by parasites. She does not move and she does not survive. The workers still try, still push through their final tasks, but it is pointless. The cold is setting in, and everything is changing. Hunting has stopped, expansion is over, and the battles that once defined the colony are no longer worth fighting. The bodies pile up, one by one, as the workers that once ruled this territory fall where they stand. Some drop in the tunnels, some collapse just outside the nest entrance, and some don't even try to move anymore. You are one of the last. The creatures that once feared this colony are returning, reclaiming the spaces that were once impossible to survive in. You do not stop them. You just slow down, your movements weakening, your body freezing up as the air grows colder. But this is not the end. Not for everyone. The young queens, the next rulers of the species, do not stay. They leave, disappearing beneath the soil, burying themselves away from the cold, waiting for something that only they will see. When winter comes, they will be gone, hidden, protected. And when spring returns, they will emerge. They will find a place, they will start again, and the cycle will begin once more. That was the giant hornet. Now it's the scorpion fly. A scavenger with a weapon that doesn't work. You hatch from a pale egg buried in wet soil, and push upward through the dirt using your hooked legs. You're a larva, and you're already hungry. You move toward the heat coming from above. The first thing you bump into is a dead sibling that never hatched properly. You don't hesitate. You bite through the softest part and start chewing. As you're eating, a centipede slithers past, brushing against your side. You freeze completely. Its legs tick across your back, but it doesn't stop. You wait until it goes, then keep crawling. Later, you find a beetle casing. It's half rotted and covered in mold. You tear through one of the seam lines and push your body inside. It feels damp and sour, but there's still enough left to eat. You scrape out what you can and wedge yourself between the plates. That night you stay hidden. By morning, something else finds you. It's another larva, and it's much larger than you. It bites into your back and starts pulling. You clamp your legs into the edges of the shell, holding your position. It jerks again and nearly yanks you free. You twist sideways and slide out the other end, then lunge upward and bite into its underside. It curls and thrashes, slamming both of you into a shallow puddle. You get dragged under but clamp again, this time just beneath its jaw. You keep biting until the body goes limp. Then you crawl up over the top and start tearing into the joints where the armor bends. You eat as much as you can before the body stiffens and the warmth fades. By the 3rd or 4th day, your legs ache and your skin feels too tight. You stop searching and look for harder ground. You find a dry patch beneath a flat stone, dig into it with your mandibles, and carve out a chamber just big enough for your body. You curl inward and seal the entrance with a mix of silk and mud. Something is changing inside you, and you won't be able to move until it's finished. Skip forward and you're 1 month old now. Your body is nothing like it was before. Over the last few days, you've molted 4 times. Each time you left behind a softer, smaller version of yourself. And now, you're a fully grown scorpion fly. You bite through the dried mud chamber and push your way out into the open air. Your new legs feel longer and stronger, and your skin has finally hardened. For the first time, light hits your vision, then your wings begin to unfold. You pump fluid into the folds until they stretch flat behind you, still soft but nearly ready. You climb onto a low branch and stop. Everything is moving. Flies flicker across the air. Ant trails crisscross the ground below. You're overwhelmed for a few seconds, then move forward, crawling to the edge and dropping into the grass. That's when you notice it. A dead gnat caught in a thin web. You crawl toward it and bite down, pulling until the silk starts to stretch. But then the strands around you start to tremble. Something's coming. You rip the gnat free and fall backward, crashing through the stems and landing hard. The spider drops just behind you with its legs ready to kill. You kick upward with your tail, trying to startle it. It pauses just long enough for you to dive beneath a leaf and stay there completely still. Minutes pass, and eventually the spider retreats. Only then do you start chewing. It's your first adult meal, dry and sour, but enough to keep you moving. You know it won't last. You'll need more than scraps like this if you want to survive. You're 1 month and 5 days old now. You're gliding low across the trees until the smell of liquid guts pulls you downward. You land on a strip of rotting bark and step carefully, following the scent to its source. You fly around a line of ants and spot it. It's an open caterpillar, split near the middle and still twitching. You rush in with your claws forward and stab your rostrum into the soft underside. Warm fluid fills your mouth. You barely get 2 good gulps in before another scorpion fly drops in behind you. He's a male like you. His wings are wider, and his abdomen looks darker. He raises his tail and circles, stepping close without breaking eye contact. You raise yours to match, but neither of you backs off. He strikes first, locking jaws with yours and slamming his body forward. You both roll into the grass. You twist hard and bite the edge of his wing. He tries to lift off, but you drag him down again. You slip under his body and jab your tail into the soft gap behind his head. It's not a weapon, but the motion is enough to make him flinch and reel backward. He yanks free and kicks away, flying off low with one wing dragging uneven behind him. Skip forward again, and you're 1 month and 1 week old now. You move slowly through the grass when something hits your antennas. It's not the scent of food. It's a pheromone trail of a female, and it smells fresh. You freeze for a moment, then begin tracking it. The scent is faint but steady. It pulls you forward, keeping your steps low and your body tucked in tight. Eventually, you spot her. She's perched on a curled leaf just above the soil. You stop and scan the area for anything edible, hoping to find a carcass or some scraps from a web. But there's nothing. The ground is clean. You don't have a real gift to offer her, so you settle in the dirt and start producing your fallback. Saliva builds slowly in your rostrum. You form it into a clear, sticky ball and push it forward using your front legs. Then you back away and wait. She notices. Her antennas sweep forward as she steps closer. She taps the ball once, hesitates, then begins to feed. You move around the edge of the leaf, watching her posture and waiting for the right moment. When her head lowers fully, you climb onto her back and lock your tail claspers around her body. She flinches, but doesn't resist. The feeding continues, and so does the mating. You hold your grip while she consumes the entire ball. Then she steps forward and breaks contact without a sound. She doesn't look back. She just slips into the grass and disappears. You stay on the leaf for a while, watching the stem sway. The ball is gone, and so is she. You're alone again. You're 1 month and 10 days old now. You move just beneath a thorn bush when you catch sight of something above you. A dead midge is hanging low in a web, close enough to grab. You climb slowly, placing each foot carefully and ignoring the sticky tension building beneath you. When you reach it, you bite down and try to pull it free. But your back leg catches. A strand coils around it and pulls tight. You shake once, but it doesn't release. You lower your head and try slicing through the strand with your rostrum, but it's too sticky to cut clean. Then the web trembles. You look down and see the spider coming. It steps carefully across the silk with its legs spread wide, moving in steady arcs toward you. You freeze, bracing against the tension, knowing you're not fast enough to run. But something changes. You get a boost of energy. Your jaw clamps tighter, and you twist your entire body, throwing your weight sideways. The silk snaps loose and you kick free. The spider lunges, but you don't back off. You rush forward and meet it head-on, catching its front legs before they can fully extend. It tries to rear back, but you hold your grip and drive your rostrum into the soft plate at the front of its head. It recoils, trying to wrap you with its legs, so you let go for a second and move around the side. You sink your jaws into the joint behind its eye. Before it can roll or get leverage, you scramble on top and jab your rostrum again, this time straight into the gap between its mandibles. It shakes for a moment, then goes still. You pull back and step off, dragging a strand of silk behind you as you limp away. You won, but barely, and your joints aren't bouncing back like they used to. Skip forward, and you're 1 month and 2 weeks old now. After days of looking, you spot another female that's chilling on a thin branch. A male stands in front of her with a dead fly, gripped tightly in his claspers. He's vibrating his wings, lifting the gift one slow pulse at a time. Each movement pushes the scent forward, and the female leans slightly toward it. You don't wait. You launch from the side without a sound and slam into him mid-air. The impact folds his wings. He drops the fly as his body spins, crashing into the base of the stem. You twist as you fall, catch the fly mid-drop, and backpedal through the leaves. The female reacts instantly. She flies right past the stunned male and walks straight toward you. She grabs the fly from your grip and bites through the head. The juice leaks from the thorax as she starts chewing. Then she turns and lowers her abdomen. You climb fast, locking your claspers at the narrow point behind her wings. For a few seconds, she stays still and keeps feeding. But not for long. She starts moving beneath you, flexing her legs one at a time. Then she pulls forward sharply and jerks sideways. Your grip slips. You slide halfway down her body, scramble to recover, but she twists again, and you lose hold completely. You drop into the grass and land on your side. By the time you lift your head, she's already gone, her legs disappearing between the stems with the fly still in her mouth. You sit there, not moving. Across the clearing, the other male is still watching you. His wings are half raised, and one of them twitches. You got what you wanted, but not the way you wanted it. You are 1 month and 3 weeks old now. A dying beetle is curled under a slab of bark. Its shell is split near the middle, and one leg twitches slowly. You grip the edge with your front legs, push your rostrum into the soft gap, and tear away a strip of flesh. You chew quickly and pull again, opening the space wider. Then movement passes behind you. You turn and see the same male from before. He drops into the dirt a short distance away with his wings spread and his tail raised. His head points straight at you, and he runs forward in a direct line. You step sideways and twist your body at the same time. Your tail hooks around his abdomen and pulls him toward the ground. His legs scrape at the dirt, and he snaps at your middle leg, catching it briefly. You push forward with your other legs and clamp your jaws around the side of his head. He kicks and pulls back until he gets free. Yellow fluid leaks from the corner of his eye as his wings start moving. He rises into the air, but you jump after him. You catch him with all 6 legs and push your rostrum into the soft gap behind his head. His wings flap once before you push him down toward the ground. You pull your rostrum out and stab again, this time going in deeper. You pull 3 quick times until the head comes away from the body. Both pieces drop into the grass. You watch the body twitch once before you turn away. You grip the beetle again, drag it into the shade, and begin eating from the open joint. You keep feeding until only the shell is left. You just became a certified Sigma male. Skip forward again, and you are 2 months old now. You rest in a patch of grass where the stems lean close together. The ground is warm from the sun, and your legs stay folded under your body. The grass bends to one side as something pushes through it. Leaves shake in a straight line, and a fox bursts out with its jaws open. It's chasing a vole across the clearing. Its paws pound the ground as it runs past. One paw hits a loose rock and sends it flipping into the air. The stone turns once and drops straight onto you. It smashes through your middle and crushes your legs flat. Your wings tear and fold under the weight. Your body caves in and everything stops. You're dead. That was the scorpion fly. Next is the leafcutter ant. Big and carrying a weight that never goes away. You hatch underground as one of the 3 types of female leafcutter ants. You're a minim, the smallest and the weakest. Nearby, 2 other kinds are already moving through different parts of the colony. You won't meet them yet, but without all 3, nothing here would survive. You're blind at first. You feel your way through the dark tunnels, guided only by smell. Soon, hundreds of sisters join you, each as tiny and fragile as you. Your job is simple but critical. You farm fungus, the colony's only food source. Leafcutter ants don't eat leaves. Instead, your colony chews leaves into pulp and uses them to grow fungus. Minims like you carefully press this pulp into gardens deep underground. Even the wrong type of leaf can poison the garden, so your job is to keep it pure. And even though the fungus feeds the colony, you'll never taste it yourself. Your first challenge comes quickly. Parasitic mites crawl through the tunnels, searching for soft-bodied ants like you. You feel one climbing onto your back, probing for weak points in your exoskeleton. You stop moving and quickly twist your legs, scraping your back against the tunnel wall. The mite loses its grip and falls off. Another minim that's nearby grabs it in her jaws and bites down hard. She quickly moves to the fungus garden, placing the mite's remains far from the vulnerable larva. Within a day, your sight improves and your body hardens, so you join your sisters working tirelessly, cleaning fungus gardens, grooming larvae, removing mold and parasites. Your actions seem small, but every movement keeps the fungus alive, because without fungus, the colony starves. A few weeks later, you're working deep inside the brood chamber, grooming larvae and shifting eggs. Nothing feels unusual until a strange scent cuts through the nest. It's not mold or fungus, so you stop moving, confused. Your antennas search the air until you smell it again. Lower in the pile, you dig gently between the eggs, checking each one for anything weird. A few others notice and join you. You reach the bottom and find them. 5 clumped together eggs, releasing a scent that is slightly off. A parasitic ant must have slipped inside the nest, just long enough to drop her eggs and vanish. If they hatched, they'd blend in at first, then feed on your young, maybe even kill the workers assigned to raise them. One by one, you and your sisters lift the invaders and carry them to the waste shaft. Back in the brood chamber, you check everything again. You scrub the chamber walls with your mandibles. You taste the air, inspect the cluster, check for cracks or inconsistencies. You don't find any more, but the smell lingers, just enough to make you keep checking. Later, back in the fungus garden, you press a new piece of pulp into the bed. 2 workers pass you carrying mold scrap. Another bites a mite in half and drags it away. The cycle hasn't stopped, and neither can you. Yet your role, as crucial as it is, depends on the others beside you. You're not strong enough to cut or carry leaves. But your media worker sisters are, so you hatch again, this time as a mediae. The moment your legs stop shaking, you're already on the move. Somewhere above, the nest opening leads to the surface. The colony needs leaves, and you're built to go get them. You climb past smaller workers tending eggs and larvae. Near the surface, you pass 2 soldiers standing just outside the tunnel mouth. They don't look at you. Outside, it's bright. Ants move in steady lines along packed scent trails. Some carry green fragments back to the nest. Others, like you, search for new leaves. You follow a stem into a low brush and check the edge of a leaf with your antenna. The fungus only grows on specific types, and this one's usable, so you start cutting. Your jaws shake with each movement as you saw across the central vein. It takes time. When the piece drops, you grip the base and start dragging. Halfway back, the line slows. You freeze as a shadow moves overhead. A forward fly is tracking the workers. It circles once, then lands nearby. You move slightly using the leaf to cover your body, because one sting from the forward fly could leave a larva inside you, and you don't really want that to happen. The fly waits for a few seconds, and then it lifts off, so you keep walking. Shortly after, the tunnel entrance appears ahead. Soldiers check for threats, then let you through. You drop the leaf just inside. Minims are already waiting to process it, chewing it to pulp and adding it to the fungus garden. But you don't stay to watch. You turn around and head back out, because another leaf waits. The scent trail is already laid, so you follow it without stopping. There's no break between deliveries, because the garden always needs more. A few weeks later, while dragging a leaf across muddy ground, your leg catches under a root. You keep moving, but something's wrong. By the time you reach the tunnel, your walk is uneven, and your grip weaker. Other workers pass you like nothing happened, because the colony doesn't pause for injuries. That night, your route changes. You're taken off the cutting trail. No more trips to the surface. Instead, you're sent down a new tunnel. one that goes past the garden, past the fungus, and toward the colony's waste chamber. The air here is different. It's hot and kinda sour. You join a silent line of workers carrying dark, decaying material toward a drop-off. Stuff like discarded leaves, moldy fungus, and dead larvae. You grip a clump of rot and drag it to the chamber's edge. The walls here are slick with bacteria. A few steps too far and you won't come back. You release the waste and back out slowly, sweeping your antenna for parasites. Behind you, a worker slips, falling partway into the pile. You grab one of her legs and help pull her out. Her body is covered in mold, but she doesn't fight it. You're not alone down here. Reassigned workers rotate in and out, cleaning the path and scraping away spreading growth. You work quietly. You manage the one thing the colony must keep away from everything else: death. You used to carry and cut stuff, but you can't fight, and the colony needs ants that do more than just farm work. So you hatch yet again, this time wider and heavier. You're a major now. You're made to stop what shouldn't pass into the colony. In simple words, a soldier. You stand near the tunnel entrance just below the surface. It's the only way into the nest. If something gets past you, it can reach everything inside. The trail outside is busy. Workers move along the path in both directions. You stand still with your legs spread slightly and jaws half open. You don't join them because that's not your role. From time to time, returning ants approach too fast, so you raise your antennas and taste the air around them. Most are allowed through without contact, but one stops you. A mediae worker drags a leaf toward the entrance. You smell something wrong. The leaf she carries has no trace of the colony's scent. The edges are smooth, and the surface is glossy. You step forward and block the tunnel. She hesitates, tapping the ground in front of you. She tries to pass again, but you raise your head, and this time she drops the leaf. You watch her back away, turning slowly down the slope. Another worker grabs the dropped leaf and starts dragging it toward the waste chamber. The scent was off. It could have poisoned the garden or killed the brood. Minutes later, a small group of ants approaches together. You raise your body slightly and hold position. They slow down immediately. The first one twitches her antenna, then backs up. The others move sideways and follow her lead, forming a detour around your post. They weren't carrying anything, but they knew not to push through. Not when you're watching. The next day, after hours at your post, the ground begins to shake. A new scent hits. It's not a lost worker. It's an attack, and you're not just guarding the entrance anymore. You're the first line of defense. A wave of red bodies appear at the edge, moving too fast to be workers. It's fire ants, so you move forward and open your jaws. The first wave hits hard. 5 invaders break from the trail and sprint toward the entrance. You lunge at the closest one, catching it mid-charge. Your jaws crush its thorax with a single bite, but another slips past you and disappears down the tunnel. Behind you, other majors respond. 2 more soldiers rush up from below, but it's not enough. More fire ants are coming, dozens of them. You can't hold the tunnel alone. You hear screaming behind you. Somewhere deeper, the invader that slipped past you is fighting inside the brood chamber. Larva can't run. They don't stand a chance. You hesitate. Do you abandon your post to protect the brood, or hold the line and stop the next wave? Before you can even decide, another fire ant charges at you. You clamp down hard, but you're 1 second too late, and the fire ant slips through again. Then the scent changes. Reinforcements have arrived. 6 more majors charge up the tunnel from below. They block the entrance with their jaws raised. Together, you form a wall and don't let anyone else through. The attackers slow down. Some try to flank, while others try to flee, but none of them make it far. One by one, they're dragged down, crushed, and pulled into the waste chamber. By nightfall, the entrance is clear. The air still stinks of blood and alarm pheromones, but the garden is safe. You held the line. You kept the colony alive, but someone had to build it first. A queen, so you hatch as one, bigger and hungrier than any ant you've ever been. You're not born to dig, cut, or guard. You're born to leave. Dozens of other queens crawl out beside you, all nearly identical. Your wings press tight to your back and the air around you is thick with a signal. Time to fly. In nearby chambers, males are climbing upward. They'll survive just long enough to find a queen, mate, and fall to their deaths. But back to you. You move fast, pushing through the tunnels toward the light, then climb out, spread your wings, and launch into the air. The sky swarms with movement. Thousands of queens and males fill the air, mixing pheromones and chasing wind currents. You fly higher, looking for space when a male catches you mid-flight. His body presses against yours, and in seconds, it's done. He falls, but you keep going. Another one finds you, then another, but you don't resist. You store their liquid inside you. A while later, storm clouds build in the distance. The air is changing, so you descend fast, searching for damp soil. You land and start digging with your legs, kicking soil backward. Then once you're deep enough, you seal the tunnel behind you. In the dark, you spit out a tiny scrap of fungus you've carried in your jaws since takeoff. It's still alive. You lay your first eggs and press them near the garden. For weeks, you feed off your own wing muscles to survive. If the fungus dies or the eggs don't hatch, it's over. But they don't. Your first daughters emerge soon after. Minims. They clean you, they feed the fungus, and most importantly, they expand the chamber. You'll never leave this nest again, but it will grow around you. Built by your offspring, layer by layer, for the rest of your life. But colonies don't last forever, and not every threat comes from the outside. Skip forward around 10 to 15 years, and you're still the queen, but something in the colony has shifted, and not in a way your daughters can fix. It starts small. Fewer workers return from foraging. Then the waste chamber fills faster than it's cleaned. The fungus grows unevenly, and some chambers go silent. Your body is still fertile, still producing eggs, but the colony around you is thinning. Too many ants working and not enough are replacing them, so the balance tips. Leaf fragments come in slower, grooming falls behind, and the garden changes color. You release another batch of eggs and wait for the minims to collect them. Somewhere near the surface, the entrance collapses. Maybe from rain, maybe from something different. It doesn't matter. The trail disappears, and foragers wander off course or never return. Deep below, mold begins to spread. A spore colony blooms across the side of the fungus bed. A few mediae try to scrape it away, but they're slow and the rot wins. Larvae are left unattended. Old waste mixes with food scraps. Parasites like mites and beetles return. You can't see them from here, but you feel the shift. The scent map is broken. You keep laying eggs, because that's all you can do. At some point, the tunnel outside your chamber goes quiet. You've seen thousands of your daughters hatch, grow, and die, and now there are no more footsteps. The fungus lies half dead. Your eggs stay unturned. You've never left this chamber, and you never will. But the colony ends here, with you in the dark, surrounded by soil and silence. That was the leafcutter ant. Now meet the bee, a builder with a short life and a sharp ending. You're born as an egg. 3 days later, you become a larva. By day 9, your cell is sealed, and you transform into a pupa. Then finally, on day 21, you become a fully formed worker honeybee. You chew your way out of the cell and step into the hive. You start working instantly. Your first job is to clean out the bodies. Today, you find a larva that didn't survive pupation. Its body is soft and curled, half sunken into the wax. You pull it free, grip it tight, and walk toward the entrance. Other bees pass by, brushing your sides, but none of them stop. This isn't their job. At the edge of the hive, you take off. You carry the body far enough that its scent won't drift back, then drop it onto the ground and turn around. You do this to reduce the risk of disease near the colony. There's another body waiting when you return, an adult, already dried out. You drag it across the comb, wings scraping the wax behind you. The path is narrow, but you don't slow down. You step over spilled pollen, dodge bees carrying nectar, and force your way to the edge again. Some of the dead are deeper inside. You climb through the brood chamber and spot one half-sealed into its cell. You tear the wax cap open and pull it out. The head is malformed, the legs never hardened. You carry it out the same way. Sometimes they fall while you're carrying them. Sometimes the wings tear off when you try to pull them loose. Sometimes the smell spreads before you get there. But you don't stop. You check cell after cell, move anything that shouldn't be there, and keep walking. Your glands are developing, and when they're ready, your role will change. But for now, you remove the dead. Skip forward to day 4, and your role changes. You become a nurse. You move from cell to cell, checking each larva. Most are only a few days old, their bodies curled and pulsing inside the wax. You lower your head and feed them one by one, pressing your glands to their mouths and releasing a soft paste made of pollen, nectar, and enzymes. Then you move to the next, and the next. Some of the larvae are different. Their cells are larger, built in an unusual shape. You climb down and feed them too, but the food is not the same. You give them royal jelly, a thick, white substance laced with compounds your body doesn't question. These are the ones the colony has chosen to raise as queens. You feed them more often than the others, and you never stop to wonder why. At the edge of the brood chamber, the drones are waiting. Their mouths hang open because they don't forage or build. They just sit and wait for you to bring food. You stop beside one, release the same mixture into his mouth, and walk on. You don't interact. You just maintain him until the hive no longer needs him. Then around day 7, your attention shifts. The queen passes nearby, and your body reacts before your mind does. You join the ring of bees that surrounds her, cleaning her body, feeding her, and brushing your legs along her sides. Her pheromone sticks to you. You carry it through the hive, passing it from bee to bee without knowing who started it or where it ends. She doesn't speak, and she doesn't stop. She just walks, laying eggs in any cell that's empty. You follow her for a while, then return to the larva, then to the drones, and then to her again. On day 12, you go from being a nurse to handling what the others bring back. Foragers return coated in pollen, and you meet them at the entrance. They scrape it from their legs into waiting cells, and you take over from there. You pack it down with your head, mixing it with droplets of honey to keep it from spoiling. Over time, the mixture darkens. That's how you know it's ready to feed the next generation. Further inside, honey fills the open combs. Your job is to reduce the water content. You line up beside the others and fan your wings, evaporating moisture until the honey is thick enough to keep. Then you cap the cell with wax from your own body, sealing it shut. You also spend hours in the building zones, shaping new comb. The wax comes in small white flakes from the glands under your abdomen. You pass it to another worker who chews it down, presses it into the frame, and builds another wall. Sometimes you build, and sometimes you just carry wax, but either way the shape stays the same. Perfect hexagons, aligned by instinct. When the air grows hot, you're moved to cooling duty. You station yourself near the brood cells and fan your wings as hard as you can. Other bees bring in water from outside and spread it along your back. The evaporation pulls heat away. You rotate positions constantly, switching spots when your muscles burn out. By day 18, your wings are stronger. Your responses are sharper. You move to the hive entrance and stand there facing out. You're a guard now. Every bee that returns is checked. If their scent matches the colony, they pass. If it doesn't, you block them. Sometimes they try to force their way in. You fight, you sting, you throw your body at them until one of you drops. When a wasp hovers too close, you lunge and it backs off. But soon, your time inside will end. The hive will send you out. And once that happens, you won't stop moving until you're dead. On day 22, your role changes again. You become a forager. You leave the hive with your nectar pouch empty and your leg baskets clean, flying low over the ground as you follow the trails left by others. The scent of flowers guides you in. You land near the center of a wide patch of clover and begin scraping pollen from the petals with your front legs. Bit by bit, you pack it into the baskets on your back legs, pressing it down until the clumps hold firm. You lower your head and push your tongue deep into the flower to collect nectar, storing it in the pouch inside your body. You move to the next flower, then another, covering more ground with each stop. But then, a sharp shift in the breeze makes you stop. Something is behind you. You turn slightly, not enough to fly, just enough to see. It's a wasp that landed 3 flowers away. It doesn't feed. It doesn't move. It just watches. You stay low, hoping it'll leave, but it starts walking. Slowly at first, and then it jumps. Its legs catch yours and its jaws snap close to your head. You kick and push, breaking free, but it circles around and lunges again. You shove it back once more, trying to hold your position, but it grabs your wing and yanks. One of your pollen loads falls away. You could sting it, but you don't. Then it dives again, this time landing on your back. You twist out from under it and launch into the air. It follows for a second, then turns off and disappears above the trees. You fly home with nothing. No nectar, no pollen, just your life. And tomorrow, you'll return to the field and try all over again. By day 30, your wings are beginning to give out. You keep flying anyway. The hive still needs pollen and nectar. You leave in the morning, make your runs, drop off the loads, and go again. The land around the hive becomes familiar. The same bushes, the same fence posts, the same clusters of flowers. You've been here before. You've scraped these petals clean, and still, you return. Each day, the effort increases. Your wings wear out at the edges. The membrane thins, you land harder, fly slower, and struggle more to lift off again. Sometimes you slip when gathering pollen, sometimes you drift off course on your way back. By day 35, you're only making a few trips. You collect what you can and bring it home. No one stops you and no one tells you to rest either. One morning, you reach a patch of flowers just outside the field. You land, but don't start gathering. You pause. You try again, moving from one flower to the next, but your legs don't grip the same way. Your wings don't lift. You try once more, pushing off the petal, but you don't make it. You stay there. No one comes for you. Another forager leaves the hive behind you and takes your place. If you're a summer bee, that's how it ends. Somewhere between day 35 and day 42, worn out, forgotten, and replaced. But if you're born near the end of the season, your life doesn't follow the usual pattern. You don't become a forager. You're built for winter. Your body is larger, heavier, and much slower than it normally would be. You gather with the others near the center of the hive, pressing close around the queen. Your job is not to fly, but to survive. Your wing muscles shiver without flapping, generating heat. The bees on the outside cool down first, so you rotate, outer to inner and inner to outer. Together, you keep the core warm. You do this for months, and when spring returns, your strength fades. New workers hatch and they take your place. If you're born as a queen bee, however, your life follows a different path. The workers chose you days ago, selecting your larva and feeding you nothing but royal jelly while the others received pollen and nectar. Your body responded. You grew faster and developed differently. By day 9, your cell is sealed shut, and inside, your transformation has already begun. You emerge on day 15, tearing your way out with mandibles sharpened just for this. But before you can even take a full step into the hive, you hear it. Another queen is calling. It's a high-pitched sound, echoing through the hive. You answer immediately. You don't know how you learned it, but the moment she replies, you're already moving toward the sound. You find her cell and tear it open. She never gets the chance to leave. You push your stinger through the gap, twist, and sting her to death while she's still curled inside. But that isn't the only one. You move from cell to cell, tracking the calls, answering each one with violence. Some go quiet before you arrive, while others keep calling until your stinger silences them. Eventually, one escapes. You find her in the open, meeting face to face at the center of the hive. No workers intervene. You both lunge at once, legs locking as you grapple and wrestle for control, each aiming for the soft plates beneath the abdomen. You twist, strike, and this time you're faster. She goes still. The fight is over and you're the only queen left. Skip forward 5 days and your body is ready. You leave the hive for your mating flight, rising into open air with dozens of drones behind you. One by one, they catch you mid-air, breed, and then fall. Their abdomens tear off in the process, and each one dies before hitting the ground. You keep going until you have enough of their white liquid stored in your body, so much that it can fertilize your eggs for years. Then you return. The workers surround you constantly. They feed you, groom you, and carry your scent across the colony. Your pheromone spreads through every comb, every corridor. It keeps the others sterile, and it keeps the structure intact. You walk the brood chamber, stopping only when you find an empty cell. If it's clean and deep enough, you lower your abdomen and lay a single egg. At your peak, you lay over 2,000 eggs in one day. You don't forage, you don't defend, you don't build, you just keep laying. And as long as your scent stays strong, no one questions your place. Then at 3 years old, something changes. The hive is full. Every comb is heavy with brood, nectar, pollen, or capped honey. Foragers land with nowhere left to store what they've brought. The air feels different. Your pheromone doesn't spread like it used to. The workers respond before you notice. Deep inside the brood chamber, they build new queen cells. They pick a handful of larvae and start feeding them only royal jelly. They're not subtle, and you don't stop them. When the first cell is capped, you leave. Half the colony follows. You settle on a branch just beyond the clearing. Scouts scatter. Some search hollow trees. Others check rooftops, walls, and broken fences. One returns and dances, then another confirms it. The signal spreads through wing beats and movement. The swarm lifts off together. A new hive is built, and the cycle begins again. But not always. Sometimes queens don't leave their original hive, like you in this example. Your scent fades. The workers stop responding. A new queen hatches while you're still laying eggs. She walks the same combs, unseen. She doesn't challenge you at first. She waits. Then one day, she finds you. You don't run or resist. She drives her stinger between your plates and pushes until your legs give out. You fall onto the wax. The workers lift your body, carry it to the edge, and drop it from the hive. No one stops to look back. The new queen takes your place, and the colony moves on. That was the bee. Finally, the praying mantis, calm and built to kill anything it can hold on to. You hatch from an egg, with your legs pushing forward, breaking free from the hardened casing. There are hundreds of siblings around you doing the same, forcing their way out and crawling over each other. Some are still stuck, their bodies twitching as they struggle to break out. You don't stop to help them. That's their problem. Your mother laid these eggs months ago. She pressed them onto a random fence in someone's garden. She didn't even pick it for a reason. It was just a random surface. Unfortunately, you will never see her. This is because mating took too much out of her, and laying the eggs took the rest. By the time the cold came, she was already dead. The frost buried her, erased her, and made sure there was nothing left. But the eggs survived. Now the air is warm again, and you're out. As you come to your senses, the world around you is already moving. Siblings crawl over each other, running around in different directions. Some move fast, already trying to get away. Others sit still, twitching like they haven't figured out what to do yet. Then your instinct kicks in. You don't even think about it, you just bite down. The sibling in front of you barely reacts. It's smaller and weaker than you. It hesitates for a second, its legs fumbling beneath it as if it doesn't know where to go. Maybe it doesn't understand what's happening. Or maybe it never even had a chance to. It turns slightly towards you, its mandibles opening just a little like it's about to do something. Run, fight, ask for help? It doesn't matter. It's too late for that. You bite again, harder this time. It kicks its legs, but there's no strength behind it. It starts twisting, as if that will make a difference. Your mandibles cut through the soft exoskeleton, breaking past the surface. Its body starts shaking, then slows and completely stops. You keep eating, tearing away soft pieces and swallowing without hesitation. The body beneath you goes still, but it doesn't matter. It's not a sibling anymore, just food. You look up and see that others are doing the same thing, eating everyone else around them as if they are fighting over scraps. They are much faster and much more confident. You don't plan on falling behind, so you keep eating. Then after some time, you move away from the place you were born, leaving behind your siblings, still tearing each other apart. Some will survive and grow, and others won't. Either way, you don't look back. You climb onto a plant stem with legs gripping the surface as it sways slightly under your weight. The world stretches out around you, filled with things you don't understand yet, but somewhere nearby, something is moving. You don't know what it is yet, but you know what you have to do. You don't chase prey. That's not how you hunt. You just simply wait. A tiny aphid drags itself across a leaf in front of you. It's slow and unaware of your presence. You could kill it, but it's barely worth the effort. It's just too small. Then something shifts in the air, like a faint vibration. It's a fly that lands just ahead of you. It's rubbing its front legs together as if it has time to waste. It doesn't know you're here. It doesn't know it just made a mistake. You stay perfectly still, waiting and observing every movement that it does. Then, in an instant, you finally strike. Your front legs snap forward and clamp down before the fly can react. It starts twitching, its wings buzzing and legs kicking trying to break free. But it doesn't matter. Your grip is too strong. The fly is warm and fresh, just how you need it. By the time you're done, there's nothing left but the empty space where it used to be. You wipe your front legs against the leaf and stay still again, waiting for the next one. The more you eat, the stronger you get. Your legs move faster, your grip tightens, and your strikes hit harder. But you're not the only one growing. Some of your siblings have gotten bigger, much bigger than you. You see one ahead. It's not like the weak ones you've eaten before. It moves with purpose, like it knows nothing can stop it. And now, it's coming straight for you. Backing away isn't an option. There's no time. The moment you see it, it sees you too. Its front legs snap open, mandibles stretching wide, and then it rushes forward without hesitation. You barely dodge to the side, legs scrambling as it crashes past you. But it doesn't stop. It turns fast, faster than you expect, and lunges again. This time you can't dodge. Its front legs slam into you, forcing you backward. Your feet slide across the surface as its weight presses down. Its mouth snapping close to your head. If it bites first, it's over. You don't think, you react. Your front legs shoot forward, locking onto its body as you push back with everything you have. It twists violently, trying to throw you off, but you don't let go. You feel its legs kicking, its mandibles snapping, trying to reach you. It's bigger and stronger, but that also makes it slower. You twist, forcing it off balance for just a second, and that's all you need. You strike. Your mandibles bite deep, tearing through soft exoskeleton. Your opponent kicks wildly, trying to break free, but your grip is too strong. Its movements slow and finally stop. You stay still, waiting to see if it moves again, but it doesn't. You breathe, feeling the ache in your legs, the sting of where it struck you. You barely won, but you did. And now there's only one thing left to do. Eat its lifeless body. You eat as much as you can, but it's not enough. No matter how much you take in, something feels wrong. Your body feels tight, like your skin is shrinking around you. It's not hunger, it's something worse. The feeling builds and the pressure gets stronger, then it gets unbearable. You stop moving. You don't have a choice. Your legs lock in place, gripping onto the surface beneath you. The pressure builds even more, pushing from the inside, stretching your body past its limit. Then all at once, something splits. Your skin tears open down your back. You push forward, pulling yourself free as the old exoskeleton peels away. Your legs slip through, stretching out of their old casings. It's exhausting, but there's no time to rest, because you're vulnerable now. Your body is too soft to fight, too weak to run, and if something attacks you now, you won't survive. You wait, with legs trembling as the new exoskeleton hardens around you. Seconds pass, then minutes, and over time your body stiffens, locking into place, much stronger than before. The feeling is gone, the tightness, the pressure, it's all over. You move, testing your legs. You feel faster, stronger, and better, but this won't be the last time. You'll molt again. Each time, you'll grow bigger with your instincts improving drastically. But for now, there's only one thing to do. Find more food. Being bigger has its benefits, but it also means you are more hungry than ever before. A single fly won't be enough anymore. You need something bigger. Hunting isn't the same as before. Small prey like aphids and flies barely keep you satisfied. You move on to better targets. Moths, beetles, even crickets. Some are easy. A slow-moving beetle doesn't stand a chance once your legs snap around it. A careless moth lands too close, and it's over before it even knows what happened. Others make you work for it. A cricket sees you at the last second and tries to jump away. You react instantly, launching yourself forward, catching it mid-air before it can escape. You bite into its body, crushing any fight it had left. Then, you see something else. A spider. A good size. It's big enough to be worth the effort. It's resting on its web, waiting for something smaller to get caught. It doesn't know it's the one being hunted this time. You move slowly, placing each step carefully, keeping your body low. You need to get close before it realizes what's happening. One clean strike, and it won't even have time to fight back. Then something moves behind you. You notice it instantly, not because you heard it, but because you can turn your head all the way around. You twist 180 degrees and see it just in time. It's a wasp. Fast and deadly, it's flying straight at your head, ready to sting, so you don't hesitate. The moment it gets close, you strike first. Your front legs snap forward, intercepting it mid-air. It barely has time to react before your mandibles slice through its neck, severing the head in a single clean motion. The body twitches, wings still flapping for a second before it drops. You don't even stop to eat it. You turn back toward the spider, still in the same spot, unaware that anything just happened. It's still waiting for something to get caught in its web. It doesn't realize it's already trapped. You move carefully, keeping your steps light. One wrong move and the hunt could turn against you. But you know better. You don't give it a chance. Then you strike. Your front legs snap forward, locking around its body before it can react. It tries to pull away, but your grip holds firm. It doesn't last long. The web shakes, and the spider drops along with you. It hits the ground, its legs folding under its body. You don't wait. If you don't eat it now, something else will. You grab hold and bite down, breaking through the shell. The body is still fresh, and you tear off pieces, swallowing fast before anything else notices. By the time you're done, everything is gone. No scraps, no leftovers, nothing for another hunter to steal. You clean your front legs and move on. There's always more to hunt. If you're male, you have one goal. Find a female before you die. You don't hunt anymore. You don't fight. You don't think about anything except the scent pulling you forward. It's instinct. You have to follow it. Others are doing the same. Some get picked off by birds. Some land in webs. Some just don't make it in time. But you keep going. Then you find her. She's massive, bigger than you, stronger than you, and completely focused on eating. That's good. If she's not paying attention, you have a chance. If she notices too soon, you're dead before you even get close. You move carefully, not too fast, not too slow. Show yourself too soon, and she'll grab you. Wait too long, and you'll run out of time. Then, you're close enough. You make your move. If you're lucky, she lets you get close. You climb onto her back, legs gripping tight, keeping yourself as still as possible. She doesn't react. She's too focused on eating, and you take your chance. You mate. Hold on, and the moment you're done, you get out. You launch yourself away before she even realizes you were there. You disappear into the bushes, legs still shaking, but you're alive. You just did the impossible. If you're unlucky though, that interaction goes in a completely different direction. She notices you. Maybe you were too slow. Maybe she wasn't full enough. Either way, the moment she feels you on her back, she turns. You freeze, but it's already over. Her front legs clamp down, locking you in place. You struggle, kicking, trying to break free, but there's no escape. She bites first. The world goes dark, and she keeps eating like nothing happened. At least you did your job. However, if you hesitate, you don't get either option. You wait too long, trying to find the perfect moment, but there isn't one. Another male doesn't hesitate. He moves first, gets there before you, and mates, while you're still watching from a distance. By the time you gather the courage, she's already full. She doesn't need you anymore. You missed your chance, and when you hesitate, you don't get another one. Either way, this is the end of your story. If you're a female, though, you survive longer. You eat as much as you can, and as often as you can. Every meal counts, and every hunt matters. You aren't just feeding yourself anymore. One day, the instinct tells you it's time. You find a branch, a rock, a fence post, something sturdy, something safe. You press your body against it, and the eggs come, a soft mass. It's thick and sticky, hardening as the air touches it. Your job is done. You keep eating, but it's not the same. The air is colder now. Prey is harder to find. Your movement's slow, but you don't understand why. Then one day, you stop. Winter comes, and you don't survive, but the eggs do. They will stay hidden, locked away in the hardened shell, waiting for the warmth to return. And when it does, they will hatch. And the cycle begins again. Life as an insect might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.